Hello and welcome to Fiona's Creative Canvas. I'm Fiona and today I've got a bowl out. I've got some leftover joint compound that I've mixed with water so it's quite soft, and I've got some sand and I want to create a very thick texture abstract. So I'm going to mix my leftover with some sand and create something a little different. Let's go upside down, I might get it out quicker. Now there might be some dry bits in here and I'm not really worried because they'll just create extra texture. So let's just squeeze this out. And I've got gloves on because I'm going to use my hands as my tool today. Let's not get too dirty yet though. Now let's add some sand to it. I'm just starting with a small amount. It's best to add a little bit at a time so that you can control it. And the other thing I have is a little bit of polyfiller powder, which I could just dry it out a bit with that. So we're getting a little bit nicer texture now. That might be it. Let's have a look. Play a bit with my hand before I put extra on, or not. Okay. Lots of finger marks. It's quite thick. That's different. I'm just looking to see if it works both ways. I do like to do that. All right, that's pretty rough. Just a few little flecks of, I think. Okay, I think I'll let that dry. Alright, so this is really dried. I've painted it with gesso so it's all even, and this is the fun part. I have mixed a few colours with water just to make them a little bit more fluid, and these are going to be my base colours. I've grabbed some sort of earthy tones out. So I'm feeling like this is going to be some browns, some golds, and maybe a bit of green. But I'm having trouble actually thinking about it in my head. So this is really going to be one of those paintings that is just going to flow, I think. Let's hope it flows well. All right, let's put a little bit of brown down. This is Van Dyke brown. And I'm thinking maybe a bit light up here. It's not that runny. That one's a bit runnier. And I might just dampen my canvas a little bit. What happens when you wet that? Interesting. Okay. Maybe a little bit of white in there. What happened down there? Just get my smaller brush. All right, I like that. Okay, so I've put a few colours onto my palette here. I've got Van Dyke brown, titanium white, burnt sienna, sap green, olive green deep. This one is a fluoro acrylic by Montmartre, and I've got a bit of Liquitex gold. Now I've got to make a decision on where I want these colours. I want it a bit darker down here. I'm just going to add in a bit more depth. And I'm going to see if I can add a little bit of the burnt sienna in here. Feel like I might need a bit of my raw sienna on the palette just to mix in here. And I'm going to try the olive green. Not sure there. What's the sap green like? Nope. Maybe a bit of azo yellow. So I'm still not quite sure where I'm going with this. Not sure about this bit. I do like some of it. I am going to mix this up a bit. When I sprayed this on earlier, I like the way the colour sort of sunk through a bit. So I might water this down a bit more. And let's have a go. Might just tilt this up a bit. Well, I like the way it exposes some of that white underneath. It's not quite right. Just getting rid of the drippy bits. I want to make this whole painting lighter. I don't mind this dark bit down here, but the rest of it I want lighter. So I'm going to go over it again. And this is the beauty of abstract art. You can keep going until you're happy. I've also got some white that I'm going to mix in. And bring a bit of this burnt sienna in. Definitely lighter up the top. This has dried a little bit and I'm trying to get an idea of what I want. I'm going to dry brush a bit of the dark colour. Let's see how this looks. Going to make that one a little lighter. I'm going to need to get a bit of that gold, I think. That's going to help bring this out. Let's get a bit of this burnt sienna down here. I'm just going to add a little bit of this yellow into that. Okay, I think this needs something. So I've grabbed out this splatter brush, which I haven't tried yet. And I've watered down these paints a little bit more. And I'm just going to prop that up a bit. Like that. And I'm going to splatter it. I might start with the dark colour. Ooh. Okay. Let's try the raw sienna. Nice. Now I've grabbed a bit of this green. It might be a little too dark. Let's just add a bit of the raw sienna to it. Yeah, it's not the right colour. It'd be nice to do a bit of the red. Let's get the dark colour again. I'm going to make up a little bit of the burnt sienna. I do want to add a bit more of that gold in as well. I might actually do that before I add any more splashes. Okay. Now let's put a little bit of the light one on. Okay, gonna lay that back down to dry. That is very different. I just want to splash a little bit more up through there. So now we're just waiting for this to dry. I have left it for a bit and it has started to dry. And I can see that the burnt sienna is gonna dry quite a bit darker than it looks here at the moment. Like you can see it there. I'm hoping it'll still have a little bit of vibrance, but we will have to wait and see. I will bring you back then. Okay, here is the final result. We'll come in a bit. Have a look at this splatter. The burnt sienna did dry darker, but I like it. I think it actually fits a bit better. And the gold is shining. Can you see that? Hopefully. Goes all the way up into the corner of the splatter on this side. And some nice softness over here in the background. And it's just got a lot of energy, this piece. It's like something has come bursting out of the soil or something. I quite like it. I like the splatter. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but I'm so glad I did it. It's worth experimenting on these things, guys. So that's it for this one. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye.